Let me try the other number. Because the thing is, whenever I get a lot of calls like these, because of the way my number is structured, it ends up being like some scam thing. User busy, motherfucker, you're giving me so many calls.
He just gave up, man.
Maybe he wants to call you back.
Reverse call 16 times. Is this gonna pass my...
D&D, I don't know.
We're good?
Yeah, we're good.
20, bro. Niaje?
Was on coffee.
Me, I'm hungry, by the way. Fuck coffee. We go get some chicken in.
Not KFC? I'm not a fan of KFC.
KFC. There's the Somali one. What's it called?
Chicken.
Chicken, yeah. How's that?
Chicken. It's good, but it actually has much better grilled. Their grilled chicken is much better. They also have grilled chicken.
And this guy's got a big ass, eh? Matako kubwa sana bana. So, by the way, speaking of the spam calls, you know what I do? Normally when they call, I'll be like, hello, Nairobi City Mortuary. And then they're like, what?
No, bro.
I'm like, ni deposit ama withdrawal.
How might I help you?
No, because the thing is, I like playing with spam calls, and you know, just because sometimes I have time. Yeah.
The number is ridiculously easy, but I even noticed that it was. Let me just check for just. I'll not expose it outright, but
let me be honest with you. It's a boss number. Listen, Dad. Papa?
Sweet, you alright?
Yeah, I'm just shooting a podcast. I'm out for the midnight run, so I'll have to call you back. It's up which ticket?
Yeah, I'm at home only.
Yeah. Fatid il Fatid ke paas ghar ke chahiye, so I think I should be okay. Yeah. All right.
It's open for you?
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Okay,
Bye. Mzee, just calling to check in.
What did you just say?
So I told he's telling me
like how he spoke in is it Hindi or something?
that's Urdu. So he's just checking to see I'm okay. Mzee does that normally after work because I leave late. Calls in to see I'm okay.
Your whole accent changed there for a second. I'm like,
Yeah, with Mzee you have to speak with respect. Check it the way this guy's timing the camera. That's Mira for the week, bro.
I was actually surprised. Like, what the hell do I do? Can I take my chances?
The guy was looking at the camera. He's like, what's going on over here?
You know that guy when I don't know, is it Obina? This other the guy who hosted Regiji the other day.
Obina.
So I don't know if it was Obina or someone.
Yeah.
They went with an air with a helicopter. I don't know, to a wedding or wherever it went. And this guy went there to ask for money.
Really?
Yeah. And then the guys, they say Makuna do, and then they're like, you know what? We'll try again. Have a good one. The
By
guy
the way,
literally.
sorry to interrupt. You see what I mean by fucking Mwindis over here?
No, I mean, he literally went up and then grabbed onto the helicopter, the rams, the wheels that they land on. I don't know, those kachumans.
Yes.
He just literally held on to them.
And it took off. You know, that actually happened in 2016 as well. There was an incident where there was a political rally, and this guy basically held on to the helicopter. So at that time, remember Avengers came out when Captain America was trying to stop the helicopter.
Yeah.
So this was Captain Kenya.
Maybe I misread.
300 feet in the air.
Maybe I misread it. I don't know if it is Obina. I don't know if it was whatever. But that shit was funny. So the guy, I'm sure, is like, should I just jump on and just hold on to the camera?
You know, it's.
Alafu anaona mwindi mdosi hapa, so he's like,
alikuwa na time, eh? He's like, this one. But at using mwindi mdos, I appreciate that. You know me, technically I'm a baller on a budget, eh?
You're a baller. Let's start there.
No, on a budget.
On a budget.
Very tight budget. I don't have flex money.
But you don't have like that fuck you money. So
no. Niko na money just to make myself feel comfortable. Thank you. See the camera on the car. Asante sana dugu.
So it's like, please, not fuck you sort of money. So just like, please.
But you know, the thing is, I want that FU money because, by the way, we need to stop cussing. You see the way Mzee calls me? Him and Mom watch the podcast and they're like, what's wrong with you? You know, every time you put on the podcast, it's fuck you this, fuck this guy, this bitch, this, that. It's like, respect women, talk properly. It's a reflection on your parents. And then I'm here saying, makende yenu sijui nini.
I think right now Mzee is just used to it by now.
Apana. You know, Mzee, okay. So the thing is, Sasa, this must be a Mwindi.
You have a thing against Mwindis.
See, Mwindi, another Mwindi.
No, but
Why
okay,
why
I
ndio
don't
wa
know-
South Sea wako na haraka sijui?
No. I don't know if it's a thing,
Yeah.
but I'm not trying to stereotype, but at times ni ngumu sana. They have a ton of road rage. You guys have a ton of road.
Okay, so here's one thing I want to settle immediately about Windies, right? Because we always get categorized into one bracket, one WhatsApp group. So there's a difference. There's a difference between the Windies that were born over here, grown up over here,
Okay.
and sort of Indians that have come from India side.
India side.
Right? Because in India, I'm not sure if you're aware, but there's a caste system.
Okay.
A caste system means if your family is from a certain background or has a certain name, you cannot do certain jobs. In fact, cleaners, you are from a certain caste. Accountants and certain members of parliament can only be part of Brahmins or higher society. So they've got this whole society levels where not everyone is equal. Just because you work hard doesn't mean you can get to a certain position, which is the complete opposite of what we believe in over here.
Okay. Like,
Right, where you work hard, you build your
freedom
name
to all.
and freedom to do all.
Yeah.
So they bring that mentality to Kenya, and then they see, we've forgotten that caste system, but they still carry that shit with them.
Okay.
They bring it over here, they look at us Africans as, and I'm categorizing myself as Africans because I've felt the Mwindi extremism they've come here and they pretend like they know the way things run because they're from India and it's a more advanced nation. So there is that. Again, it's not a blanket statement to cover all, but you see the thing is the typical Windies that you see the racism talks come against running companies.
Yeah.
Those are all these guys who've had fresh off the boat, right?
Okay.
You tell me about your racism experience.
No. What's the worst that I've ever had? I was trying to move into this apartment block. I was nilikatazwa. I was refused. They said actually they just turned me down categorically.
Right.
Um,
Mwindis,
Yeah.
let's go now. Twende huko.
And I have
Fungua nyumbani.
I have a nephew. He was trying to go into this school, Samaj Patel. I think this one up on Nairobi West.
Okay, sasa even with the name, he's asking
Yeah,
for
like walikata, literally.
afadhali ungeenda St. Mary's Strathmore, Samaj Patel. Sasa hapo
No,
hata kuingia you're asking for
They
trouble.
just refused to even give him a test, and the guy was very bright. So that is what.
To be fair, they must have seen him from a distance and said, this Somali guy, they must have seen him as South Indian.
No.
Then as he was approaching, they're like, hey.
Question: like, what is it? Just the names? Like, what sets up the caste system?
I don't want to comment
Is it
on
to
that
say, for
extent.
example, like once you become a cleaner, you are forever clean?
Yeah,
Or can someone like also fall into the caste system?
You're born into it, right? It's sort of being born like Kikuyu or being born as a Maiman
It's
or
who you are,
Punjabi.
and who you are, you're already labeled.
yeah, so they label you according to that, right?
Okay.
In fact, there's some areas where if you're born from a certain part or share a certain name, you're reserved to do blue collar jobs, sewer cleaning jobs and so on and so forth.
Okay.
You can't progress beyond. In fact, there's a really good book. It's sort of a romantic book which I read a few years ago. It was about a man who cycled. I think the title is The Man Who Cycled Across Europe to Find Love or something. It's a story about an Indian man who was again born into this caste system, fell in love with a white girl, but then he was seen as wrong. But she didn't see it as wrong because for her this didn't exist in
The
Europe.
caste system didn't exist.
Exactly. So he went and chased after her, and it's a true story. Kim, we'll put that book up here, yeah, for those that want to read. Speaking about relationships.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell me the troubles. See, this is a therapeutic ride. We talk around talking about your problems.
This is a healing session. Yeah?
This is a healing session.
Okay.
Kwanza, first of all, for healing, where's the chicken in? Tunaenda wapi? Because I don't. Have you eaten?
I have at Maghrib, but we can exit up or nini.
See, because I mean,
Westlands.
we've got time. Why don't we just go all the way straight, and then we'll come back.
We'll come back. Then there'd be a KFC. You see that when you're about to enter Expressway,
Sitaki KFC.
you want chicken in. Then we'd have to go to Westland Square
Kuna chicken in
at the mall.
Wayaki way, uko juu.
Really?
Kim, you'll eat chicken wing?
Yeah, really.
Lazima Kim atakula. See, Kim
okay,
akona appetite.
okay.
Sasa hapo unajifanya you're going to gym over there looking well.
No, bro, I just eat.
Okay, sorry to distract.
So
We were talking about the Chat GPT. Chat GPT chats to multiple women's. Or was that offline? Okay, I'll admit it. I've used Chat GPT to talk to multiple women, and it's one of them picked it up, by the way. But that was before I was the proverbial man.
So I have a funny story actually, and I think I touched on it kidogo.
Yeah.
So, depending on the level of interest that I see in someone, someone can look good and I'll actually be attracted. I mean, the interest is there from my side, but some people don't know how to hold a conversation, and up until they get comfortable with you, it might take some time.
Yeah.
So what I do at times, let's say there's someone that I'm aiming for something a bit more serious, I clearly know there's a romantic interest.
Yes.
I go to Chat GPT. I open up a chat. Name the chat under their name.
Yes.
And I say, let's say, what name? Marian, for example. I'll just use that example. Or Susan, I don't know, whatever name.
I like that diversity.
Yes.
It means you're not segmented to one side.
Or Rita, whichever name.
Rita! Kwanza hii Rita tunaingia ChatGPT Premium.
The point is, now the thing is, I pay for ChatGPT Premium. So what I do,
yes,
I go on, I create the name.
Yes.
Then I'll give ChatGPT the exact description. I just DM this girl. Got accepted. She follows me, I follow her.
Yes.
I want you to run with the whole conversation. From the moment I say hi, or better, I ask you to give me an intro.
ChatGPT does everything.
There was a girl. I'll not mention the name, but there's a girl.
Let's call her Señorita.
Yes, there's a señorita.
Yes.
Wallahi, very minimal. Like, I think I can count on one hand the number of times that I've actually typed the responses myself.
Yes.
I just don't even know what happened. She just said that my communication was inconsistent.
Yes.
She unfollowed me. She moved me from her list of followers, blocked me. I realized that after I think 3 days. Then I was like, oh, it hurts.
It hurts. But
then another one came, so then the cycle started over again.
Then the cycle starts again. And that's in essence the way the future relationships look like. It's all swipe left, swipe right, click and text at your convenience, instantly respond.
ChatGPT
it's all automated.
Gives me multiple options. Oh, this is what it's saying. Take an emotional angle.
Right.
Take this angle.
Right.
Me, I was just having a full-on conversation.
Yeah, the thing is, bro, I used to have...
And the way the conversation is flowing, bro, I would give... ChatGPT was asking deep questions.
Okay, in fact, I'm going to show you this.
Deep internal questions.
I'm going to show you this.
I was like, wow.
This mama, this was a while back, yeah? We haven't spoken since. But I'm just going to show you my chat. Guys, I'm not driving, it's just the background moving. Huh? Check.
We invested heavily.
Kim, you've seen... I'm scrolling, chill.
You responded how many days later?
Friday 18th.
And you responded Saturday 19th.
Yeah.
And you responded to all of that with, I think that the TLDR of it is, oh, I understand. Okay, so I was okay, can I say the joke?
Yes, please.
So I was telling Sajid earlier, so the amount of wonderful ladies that are amazing that come Sajid's way, each one thinking that she's, you know how girls are lost for better, they are hopeless for the guy that they can finally turn, the guy that they will convince to change his ways.
Yes.
I said, so for example, every time that I meet him, there's always that one chick. So I was like, the amount of girls that would come up, think that they're going to be the ones to change him, lock him down, give him kids, answer his mom's prayers of grandchildren. How many of them came, and the ones who ended up needing fixing was them. And I told Sajid, let's say that kind of message came up again. You'd likely look at it, then you'd be like, Okay.
Ah.
But as I was saying, this product, you're a salesman.
Yes.
I think we can lock in and give you uninterrupted access for the next 6 months, internet, for example.
Yes.
Or net, for example. Or you'll be like, oh shit, my cable is being cut in Yemen, for example. And then
the thing is,
but your work, like it really baffles me. I bet it's really interesting. I never got to actually understand about it.
you should come to the data center. In relation to the work, there's just so many things I'm doing. So obviously the podcast is a huge part of that, but the admin side of the podcast, all the videos that go up after Kim edits the captions, the descriptions, the posting, on all platforms, that's me, the Spotify stuff. In addition to that, there's social relationships, there's the professional relationships you're trying to maintain. So I'm just trying to see where the chicken in is. I'm sure we can go and come back, right?
I know, actually, it's actually just in front. It's at Ola.
Okay. But why don't we drive around and then we can just we'll come back and order. So in addition to that, there's also a project I'm working on that I don't want to talk about very early. I'll tell you offline about it. But hopefully that then replaces my day job. And it's completely out of the IT industry, right? And then you have relationships where you have a lot of casual relationships with multiple women, and most of them were aware of the position. But the thing is, at some point in time, someone catches feelings, right? And you have to start lying, and you have to start telling tall tales, but you can't keep up to the truth because you've told literally 10 different people 10 different things. And so when it comes, all of a sudden it comes and smashes on one day.
And then you're like, wait, I didn't tell you that?
Bro.
You're like, wait, oh, yeah.
Like Yanni, there were times when, again, this is a very despicable cheating thing, so don't do it, but like, the mama will say, let me go through your phone. She doesn't find anything in the chats. And that's because what I was doing was I was creating notes on iPhone, and I was having conversations with another mama on notes. So notes you can share.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you create notes, right? And then
share the notes.
And then share the notes.
And the girl knows that you are awkwardly texting her on notes.
Yeah. This one, she knew what her position
I think she was also one of those ones that were like, I can finally change him. It'll be me.
Yeah, like
then
chosen
6 weeks later,
me.
6 weeks later, she finds the note is deleted, and
but anyway,
she'll see Sajid on her IG story.
My point is, you see how much that genuinely takes away from you, right? When you've got a lot of other things building up.
Yeah.
So I sort of segued away from that, and again, I'll just be very vulnerable. A lot of men usually do that is because they don't want to get hurt, because we had this one mama that sort of we went through something and we don't want to feel it again. But there's something beautiful about finding someone and building someone and being honest with that person and trying to commit to something, right?
You feel like you found that person?
Let's see.
So whosoever is talking to Sajid right now,
it started off right. It started off definitely right.
Keep it up. You're doing the right things. Up until you're not.
We've done all this, but we haven't even given an introduction into who Nassir is. So maybe I'll give a bit of context. I initially met Nassir at the Afrofit gym.
Yeah.
This was a year back when I was in shape.
Actually, more than a year.
Nassir alikuwa anasema.
We met earlier, 2023, I think.
Really?
Yeah. I met you in 2023, but we just didn't talk up until 2024.
I don't remember the specifics of how we met. Do you remember that?
I actually. So, you are very social in the gym. So I think, yes. I think it started off by sharing an equipment in the gym. So it was, I think, the leg extension or something.
Yes.
And then it started with, oh, hi, by the way, are you using that? Can I work in with you?
Yes.
And they're like, oh, yes, come. And I think you had like a green or something. Shirt or t-shirt or something?
Look at this talk, and I remember sweater color.
No, so it's a funny thing.
I'm joking.
But it's like, that's how it started. So I think it's just started off by sharing machines.
Yeah.
Then from there, every other time that we'd meet, you'd be like, hi, Kokoa, enjoy your workout, stuff like that.
And then I slowly found out about your business.
Yeah.
Tell the people more about that, because I have a favor to ask of you. And I want people to, the guys that are viewing, let me know if this is a good idea. Tell us more about the business that you do, bro.
So, I'm a drug peddler.
Alhamdulillah. Finally, cheap weed.
The finest opium out of Afghanistan,
Yeah, because you pray 5 times a day, you get the best quality of drugs, right?
At times you need to be high to ascend also. Jokes aside. Yes, so it's a marketing agency.
Okay. Yes.
Actually, I think, when like our conversation really like took off, is we met at Cafe Amka.
Yes,
so
which
when
was
Cafe
close
Amka,
to...
yes, when Cafe Amka was still at Afrofit.
Yeah.
We met at Cafe Amka. Then it was actually the first time you were starting the podcast.
Yes.
You are just talking about the idea, and you're having those stickers, and then you're like, oh, by the way, let's I'll trade a billboard for a feature on the show.
Yes.
Then it started. Actually, we actually have a story that we posted on IG about it. But yeah, so it's a marketing agency. So through the line marketing, social media, content marketing, billboards, branding, events, activations. So practically anything and everything that a client would need in terms of communications,
Right.
and relationships, we
Right.
help create that.
So let me ask you, with the advent of obviously digital marketing,
Yeah.
do billboards take a hit?
In terms of
Like physical advertisement?
with how social media came.
Yeah, because if I, let's say, have 1,000 bob to spend on advertising, do I look at social media and pump it there, or do I look at traditional advertising such as billboard and pump it there?
So
From you as a business perspective, how are you finding that?
No, the thing is, if you are scared of something, it simply means you do not understand it.
Yes.
And as a businessman, you make your craft. There's nothing special about marketing.
Correct.
Everything is about the person who is the marketer, who's actually creating the contents, who's actually structuring your campaigns and everything. So to answer your question, one, each of them have a tool, but the ideal thing is digital and social media is called through the line marketing. So you can consider like above the line and below the line. Those were the initial ones before social and digital really became a thing.
Yes.
So above the line means so the line, think of it as the barrier. The consumer is here and this is the line. So when you say above the line is when you do not have direct interaction with the customer.
Okay.
So these are now billboard advertisements, street pole advertisements, wall brandings, those kind of stuff. This kind of stuff, you're not engaging directly with the customer, but your message still reaches them.
Right.
So when you have a billboard here, based off of the artwork that you put on it, the customer will look at it, will read it, and will get the communication. The ability for him to take action on it, the ability for him to take action on the message, is how well you map out your consumer journey.
Okay.
Below the line is where you have direct engagement with the customer. So this is now going to be events, activations, pop-up shops, where you go and then you are directly engaging with the consumer.
Right.
It's sort of like if, let's say, I sell a fitness product. I can put a billboard, and on your way from work on Langata Road, or when you're coming and you're leaving Karen, you can see a billboard. The billboard has caught your attention. You're like, oh, okay.
This is
But
interesting.
then you move on. But then right now you'll find just near a co-op, let's say you're headed to the gym, let's say they'll be exclusive.
Yes.
They have a pop-up store. Then they deal directly with you see?
Correct. Okay, so different forms.
Yeah. So it's like it's below the line, meaning you directly now actually you're with the customer directly.
Okay.
So the line is what separates the customer.
Right.
Now, social and digital came to be known as through the line. So meaning, with social and digital, for example, how I'd view it is, you can get the above the line feature by posting your photos, your graphics, your videos and stuff. That means it's there, you communicate to the client, but you're not directly engaging with them. For it to become a below the line, you can run offers, you can go on live, you can have webinars, you can do all of those things where you directly talk to the customers.
Okay.
So the thing is, everything has a part to play. So it just depends on how well you utilize it and what actually works for some clients. Because at times I tell my clients, there'll be a client who'll come to me and be like, Nassir, I want 10 billboards. I'm like, you don't need billboards for what you want.
Like you can't sex products in Kenya, billboards. What's the point?
You just need to talk to Sajid. He'll probably buy all of them.
But speaking of which, you promised me a billboard. Guys, what do you think? Imagine Coffee Pump. You're driving on the highway, and you just see the Coffee Pump logo and then a barcode. Coffee Pump Podcast.
You know, we were actually scouting for you. You had to select a location. You were thinking somewhere along Westlands.
Sasa hii bei ulinipatia, unafikiri mimi ni mtu niko na pesa, sina pesa.
If you
By the way, look at all these houses.
Wait,
Nassir.
I heard there's a place called Nyali ama Nyari in this place.
This is Kitusuru.
No, I actually heard about it from a friend just
Okay, I don't
a
even.
couple of weeks back. I heard it has a lake.
What?
Yeah. So it was really nice from the photos that I've seen.
Like, even look at this car.
That's old school money car.
Yeah, probably a fucking security. Look at this. Everything is nice painted. There are flowers here and there.
There's no hakuna mtu wa kuiba camera like
Sindio.
yeah.
Look at the gates, right? That gate probably costs more than this
Also
car.
the landscaping then on the outside is very nice.
Beautiful. This is like a golf course over here.
Uh,
I like to drive here often, just to remind myself how broke I am.
or to see what you're going to buy, you know.
Does money motivate you? Like, if you see someone with a expensive car, does that motivate you?
To be honest, no. But the challenge is that nothing comes easy, and if someone has a certain level of money,
Yeah.
so a friend actually, just Juicy from one of our business initiatives, we were actually having a consultant on financial planning and so on and so forth. So one of the things that he said was revenue is activity. So do not see it as you having money, just see it as a reflection of the activities that you are undertaking. So when you look at someone who has, let's say an LX600, which is now a very nice, the latest in terms of the luxury SUVs in the country,
Correct.
or an S680 Maybach or stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, one, it's very clear that that thing is expensive.
Yes.
Whether or not you have a lot of money or whether you do not, from a baseline, it is expensive. And the thing that happens is you're like, oh shit, it's if it's expensive, it means it's hard to get.
Correct.
You get the gist? So in terms of if money motivates me, I would like, once you get to a certain level eventually, if you are intelligent enough and if you are persistent enough, you'll get to that level of money that you want.
Like, you see, the thing is, the way I undertake this whole thought process is, there are guys that drop 40-50 million shillings on a car. Okay?
Yeah.
And they have multiple cars.
Yeah,
Now-
for example, someone will tell you he has like 3 or 4 of them and he changes them after every 2 years.
Now, imagine having that kind of money.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, what's this guy doing? What's the business he's running?
Exactly.
What on the back end is he? Because it keeps me up at night,
But, yeah.
and it pisses me off that I can't come up with an idea like that, where I'm generating this amount of wealth just to drop it on
Not
bloody
generate that
cars.
kind of wealth, to generate the kind of wealth that makes dropping close to 150 million on vehicles. That is like expendable wealth, meaning.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
for
It's
example,
not something you bother. It's like,
it doesn't bother you. What that means is, what level of wealth is this guy playing at that $101 million is negligible to him?
I mean, guys, let me remove my glasses so you know I'm serious, even though I'm half blind.
Should I
over
also
here.
lean forward?
Yes, lean forward so you look into the car. Imagine that, the way you go and shop for jeans, guys are going to shop for cars.
Or
And-
better, they like customize it from Germany. The car comes here.
Yes, and
it's flown in here.
You've got a pant a day. This guy's got a car a day for the rest of the month, and he's dropping it. Doesn't it piss you off? I mean, it pisses me off. Leave it in the comments. Does it piss you off? Why we can't have, what business idea do we need to do? Kim, does it piss you off? Look at this guy, he's sleepy over here.
There's,
Seriously?
I think
No.
there's
Unataka chicken in?
he
We're
wants,
going chicken in, don't worry.
He wants food. He wants food.
Kim is hungry.
So yeah, but what motivates you, or what would motivate me?
We've
is,
got, sorry to interrupt. We've got an off topic.
Mhm.
Where's my billboard?
Oh yeah, so I think I think we're supposed to just agree on the location.
Tutaweka
And I
wapi?
wasn't even going to charge you.
Amesema kwa camera.
No, I said
Yeah,
it. I said
his
it multiple
Instagram handle
times.
is also been put over here. Sasa hata niweka Garissa.
No. Actually,
Yeah, free.
So
Listen, free always has a catch in this
actually,
country.
so let me actually say this. So depending on the location,
Yes.
let's say we agree on the location. In the next, see now it's mid-June, almost mid-June.
Yes.
By end of June, inshallah, we can be able to have and then actually have it on the channel where we say like an actual recording and photos
Sure.
of the coffee pump on a billboard or on a digital screen.
Okay, but which location are we thinking?
You wanted something along the lines of Westlands, Sarit, Westgate, one of those areas. Yeah, those areas, yeah? Okay. Sarit, we'll start off with Sarit.
Siniwekea sijui Mumias sugar mills huko
No.
Mombasa road uko
But
ndani.
okay, but uko na just hata nikiweka Garissa or like Moyale, people there listen to radio, man. More than they are not on TikTok, they are on radio.
Sasa
So we just need to give them the CoffeePump frequency.
The 15
Yeah.
by the way, what's the former Safaricom CEO called, the guy who passed away?
Bob Collymore.
Bob Collymore. This is his actual place over here,
Really?
and I have a friend that stays opposite that owns the property. Like, you see that? They've got a private gate over there. On the opposite side, they were there. This belongs to him as well.
The guy was.
The guy's mzee is loaded,
The
but it
guy-
hasn't given him jack shit.
His dad.
Yeah. Like the dad has ridiculous amounts of money.
Collymore. Bob
No,
Collymore's dad.
the friend of mine who
Oh, your
stays
friend,
there.
okay.
Yeah. So they've got a ton of properties. They've got rental income in the millions of a month. This guy, he still lives like a broke guy because the dad hasn't given him a cent, which I respect. But at some point, I'm like, okay, your son's now in his 30s. He's your only son. Come on.
But the thing is though, it's, I think with a lot of like this affluent people or like high net worth individuals,
Yeah.
it's okay, so you yourself right now, I don't know if have you ever been broke, like broke
Today, bro.
today yeah?
Fuliza's the one buying us lunch, bro.
No, so
Dinner.
this is what I'm saying. If you've worked hard for anything in your life,
Yeah.
you understand the value of even 10 shillings.
Okay.
So compared to if it is given to you. So these guys oftentimes they want, even if it's their son, they want to say, do you have that tenacity to be...
Look at that house. Kim, look at that.
It's not the most impressive that I've seen so far.
It's, bro, they've got a fucking palm tree imported away all the way from Sajid.
Okay. But the whole area is just nice
Inshallah, when we grow up, yeah.
when you grow up, yeah. I mean, we still have 30 more years when we have to grow up.
Again, on your train of thought, will you be that parent that makes a lot of money and say, this is mine? Me, when I die, I'm going to spend all of
It
it.
depends on the kid. So if he has that aggression about him to one acquire as well as, who understands value. Because, bro, how many guys made money? The Vanderbilts, for example, in the US, those guys were the richest at certain points. Now, 5 generations later, they don't even have anything. So you give it to someone, they gamble it all away. I know a guy, alipewa, I think, $3 million, like some 300 million. He lost it in 6 months. Came back. Now he's paranoid. He wouldn't even, like, he has a solid fear of people. He couldn't even explain how he spent 300 million shillings.
It just disappeared.
It just disappeared. He went to Dubs, he came back without... Wait, he went to one of the wealthiest countries in the world, and 3 million there is nothing.
It's nothing. You can
It's
spend
nothing.
You can literally spend that on a dinner in a night.
It's doable.
It's doable.
So he came back after 6 months with nothing. He couldn't even say, oh, I put even $100,000 in. So
That bad, huh?
yeah, so it goes to show you, like, at times people are just like, if you can respect the money and you can understand it, okay, that way, even if I gave you 1 million shillings or I gave you 1 billion shillings,
Yeah.
you'll treat it all the same. At a certain point, money changes, man.
To be honest, with the way, just go and research fractional reserve banking to understand how money works. And what they'll do for you, will explain to you that this is all an illusion. Money doesn't exist. The value of money and what governments do to just hold and retain their true value, it's all a bubble, and it'll all basically end up in tatters. In tatters. Inflation is another form of tax which has been manipulated by the large conglomerates to just keep you paying higher and higher. You've also heard of that, like, for example, 50 years ago, right? It was mostly men working. Okay, so only men were paying tax. So this whole women's right and this whole movement of women getting independence was not to give women independence, was to double the amount of taxpayers, because half the population is not working. So get them motivated, get them do this. So there's a lot they'll teach you about how money is just a construct, and we're just in a game and pawns keeping a system being moved. One thing I'll tell you is maybe crypto is the antithesis of that, the opposite of that, where it can't be controlled by any one government, right? Because it's free market, it's freely open. You can't print it out to devalue or monetize or increase the value of the currency, because the true value is out in the open market. And I think that's one of the biggest blessings that's been sort of given to us, is the crypto aspect. And it took me so long to realize this. But then the flip side is, it's like gambling as well, in some aspect, where you can't really predict the market because there's such whales and giants that have been involved that you only hope that certain trends take you to a certain position, like the ebbs and flows of the market. But you see, the thing is, what I'm trying to get at is, again, I'll keep using the Undertale matrix element, because that's what I feel this construct of the world we're living is. There are rules set in place to keep you there, but you just have to find something in between that can give you that breakthrough and that money. And once it starts coming, it just starts printing itself and it starts replicating. But this mambo of me and you working 9 to 5 to earn a living is finite, because what happens is we've got limited time and our energy as we grow older depletes. And what you need to create is something that makes you money despite you being there, right? Because the early part of your career, you're learning, right? Then your time, basically, you start charging for it. But then your time diminishes. So, because you get so pulled into different constructs, you get a family, your societal pressures, you've got your day job, you've got this. So how do you make sure that you work less but are earning more?
To be able to have something that gives you money when you're not working.
Exactly. Now, as much as people say betting is taboo and haram and everything, fucking brilliant business idea. These motherfuckers are printing money when they sleep.
Sorry, Sajid's dad is just...
Yes, sorry, Papa. But you get what I mean. Look at that brilliant concept of sports pesa, all right? That, now, you see, the thing is, we have a fine line because we're Muslims. Will we ever get into betting? And I personally won't, because it's just against my beliefs. But I have to admire the concept where for every transaction, they get a percentage. For wins and losses, they get a percentage.
It's about...
Do you understand?
I get you. It's something that's so ingrained in the daily life that for people to... Because gambling, for example, has always been a thing.
Right.
You see, the whole lottery thing has always been a thing. So these guys are just like, what is human nature?
Right.
Taking chances and taking bets on something. Even if they know they'll not win, if there's 100 reasons why, but one reason why they can, they will bet on that one reason. So you just place yourself as the medium. It's a platform as a service.
But you get where I'm going. In this car specifically, I work in sales. If I'm injured, if something happens to me, my ability to sell goes to zero. I don't earn commissions. I don't earn jack shit. Your business is based on you as a person meeting customers and selling your products and services. Something happens to you, the chances of someone replacing you and having your level of credibility is close to, it's basically non-existent.
Yes.
Kim, video editor, something happens to him, he doesn't eat, right? So we need to start thinking beyond the confinements of this 9 to 5, man. Now, does it mean we enter into realms of morality, grey compasses, and we're sort of trying to find the line? The other thing, by the way, which I genuinely wanted to do, was AI girls and women, and basically sell it to fucking Indians. Because these horny bastards will pay, there are a billion of them, so even if I get a 0.001% of them to subscribe to my OnlyFans channel at $3, natengeneza pesa mzuri. And this is an AI OnlyFans girl. I'll basically go on the Pornhub sector and search for top trending porn in India and create a girl from that. But then I'm a Muslim now. See, now if I go to Judgment Day, God will be like, you know, you did all this good, but OnlyFans account. Straight to jail.
Straight to jail. You go to jail.
It's so. Yeah. It's that. Now the flip side is, what if we do that? We generate a lot of money. We build a mosque, multiple mosques. Let's say Kim's religion is right. We built multiple churches, so to balance equilibrium. Whoever prays in there, we get sawab.
I'm listening. I'm not agreeing, but I'm listening.
So, 10 mosques, 10 churches. Let's say the Hindus, right? 10 temples. Like in undercover to Jenge Masjid. But so imagine creating all these aspects to bring positivity back, to bring that scale. Do you think that works?
So,
and I love the way Nassir is taking this very seriously. He's like, hey, bana,
matters of religion, I take it very seriously, especially when it comes to the deen. So, the thing is, Islam, the thing that is wonderful about Islam, and this is not to digress, but I'll just make it simple.
Sure.
The thing wonderful about Islam is there is no rooms for confusion. Islam is very categorical about certain things. So when it comes to matters of, for example, even contribution,
yes,
okay, if the income that you've gotten is from haram sources, it will not be accepted. Now, let's say you built the masjids, okay, everything's been built and everything's been done.
Yeah.
Am I to say that, wallahi, okay, am I to say that on classical aspects, whatever you do, let's say you give even a prayer to someone, that prayer that he does there,
or with haram money.
Yeah, for example, let's say you buy iftar for someone and then they break their fast. Allah, the Prophet ﷺ, he told us that, peace be upon him, he told us that you will get something equivalent to the fast that he's done.
Yeah.
I don't know as to whether or not the fiqh says proceedings from haram income is not accepted. I do not know also the other. Maybe the person will get his tawbah, but maybe you'll not get it.
So there's no justification.
There's no justification.
It's haram. It's haram.
It's haram. So I think Mila Station ya kusema, if you started off with that, it's sort of like trying to. It's what the I'm not trying to start off a heated debate, but
I get you.
It's what a very particular set of religion did, trying to gamble with God. Ile situation ya kusema, wewe umesema hivi, nitafanya hivi, wacha tuone kama bado utafanya hivyo. Unaniget?
Yeah.
Scenario. But so to actually earlier on when you say that, all of this stuff, I also have friends who, the thing is you have a lot of Muslim friends. I'll say things as they are. We are Muslims, all of this, but in the real world, on the ground, at times to make the right decision is very hard.
Yes.
And Islam is not a religion that shuns people like failing or even like coming short of themselves.
Yes.
But story of wash, for example. In short, wash is just simply conning people, stealing their money and going away with it, with no intention of doing anything. So,
but wash is also cleaning the money away from the government.
Actually, wash thing. It's wash. It's like there's
laundering, black money and cleaning.
That is laundering. Okay. Then there are guys, bro. Like in one of the businesses that I've done, I've also done exports.
Yes.
Okay, it's actually an active business, but in terms of strategy and prioritization, it's not at the maximum. Yeah.
Right.
So someone comes, goes anaenda anatafuta mzungu hapo kutoka States, alafu anamwambia I can supply you with 10 container loads of, let's say, cashew nuts in the agribusiness space.
Yes.
Jamaa anakam, mzungu anatoka US, okay, kukuja, the wash guy has already sorted out all the factories and everything. He will even have the freaking director general of a certain of a parastatal rise up to show credibility. When the customer pays, everything has gone. It's vanished. There is no factory. There is no nothing.
Yeah,
it's a whole scheme. It's wanavurutana then wanamruka. So that is another aspect of wash. So come back to what I was saying earlier. I've also seen guys who are Muslim doing that kind of work. You see,
that's true.
In a certain scenario, you find yourself, you can never be the voice of authority, especially matters of somebody else. I mean, there is this. I was reading this book the other day, and then it says, "I do not have the right to judge that which I did not create, but I do have the right to choose what is right in my eyes." Okay. But at the same time, I cannot impose what is right on somebody else. And the last one, Allah also makes this very clear. Only His mercy is bigger than His anger. And no matter what somebody does in terms of, when someone is hungry, someone has a family to look after,
Yes.
Their parent is sick, their wife is this, their children is this. I can never blame someone for whatever it is that they're doing. You get? But so on and so forth. So making money is exceptionally hard, especially in certain economies.
I think it's harder just making it the right way.
The right way.
And I know I think out loud that...
It's not hard, but
It's hard.
No. Can I be honest?
hard.
Everything is hard, but do you know what happened? These easier gotten wealths, everyone around you has cash, except you. You see? And the illicit ways have become so much common. Alright, it's so much around you that it's the only thing that you see, and you don't even see all the good ones.
Right.
I know guys making good money in
Yes.
even international level, yeah. Even if you look at it from a point of a US economy or like a British or whichever economy, you'd be like, fuck, that's good money, and they do it 100%, 100%.
The other thing is, I think we were also sort of shortchanged by just being born in Africa.
Yeah, man. I think,
Can I explain why?
Yeah.
And again, I'm basing this purely out of market research
It's facts, man.
in the sense that, and also second-hand experience, because I know people that
You
have
actually-
grown up on that side and
you're
moved that
fortunate
side.
enough to have studied there as well, to have spent time outside.
So let's look at the aspect of just which vertical can we take? Like let's open up a clothing brand, right? And Madung was saying this on the podcast, the States has become so good in generating IP and outsourcing the manufacturing to cheaper sources with logistical lines to have everything ready for you to deliver at a cheaper cost at a premium product. We have, just on the import-export stuff, how much does it cost you to bring goods over here? Look at the duty, right? If you want to create a shipping business, if you want to create a coffee-based
More
business
than
to ship
50%
internationally,
of the cost of the product will be to duty.
which doesn't even make sense unless you're sort of in a huge segment and you have market, you basically capture the market
sense
and
at all categorically. You cannot spend more than 50%.
sorry.
Ready market is there.
Not even ready market.
Yeah, and the exact no. You see, the thing is, so you can open a coffee shop in a place over there, and you have, again, it's not a blanket statement, but what I'm trying to say is, if Kim as an editor were to go to the US with his skills, he would make 10 times what he's making a month away. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Right. If I, again, this
I
is
know
all,
guys.
in the industry I'm based, right? I have my counterparts who work in sales, who are dollar millionaires. Dollar millionaires, and we're selling the same fucking product.
But they're selling it in a different market.
But my issue is, I've got a Kenyan passport, I can't work over there. And it's not to do with my talent, it's not to do with
It just depends on where you are born.
where you're born. And again, I commend these guys, they're great sales guys, but I feel
You're
at
like,
times
I
where
can do whatever you're doing, and even if
I've
not better.
literally been in a boardroom doing customer presentations, and my counterpart on the other side of the globe is literally talking, and I just want to knock that guy out.
Because of all the bullshit that he's talking.
So that's anyway, that's a separate point. But you see, the thing is, then you get comments like, again, from colleagues that, literally you did such a fantastic job to bring this customer back in. And I'm like, if I was there, if I was closing these deals at that level, because when a data center opens up in the Americas, day one they've got customers. Bro, here it took me 1 year, to make my first sale, and my commission for that was 25,000 bob. Doesn't it fucking piss you off?
I mean,
And your let's look at your advertising agency. Let's look at YouTube. How many businesses over here advertise on YouTube, social media, this and that? It's such a small number. So if I look
like
at
right now, go ahead.
again, now you see, the thing is, with the beautiful thing about being in Kenya is there is pockets where if you tap into it, you can make such ridiculous amounts of money, right? I think luxury is dead over here, because luxury is within Nairobi.
Yeah.
You need to find a product that's mass market, that benefits education or health or beauty in Kenya. Like-
Or
Like, yes, or agribusiness, correct. Like so, super cosmetics, that guy. I think the guy's name was Paul Kinuthia. The guy started making jelly to improve the hair, and very cheap. The guy got bought out by, I think, L'Oreal or something.
yeah. So I love another thing here.
So I think, I'm just criticizing it from my position as a sales guy. Yeah?
There is a statement: if you're born a guy, if you're born a man first, that's a huge upside. It's facts.
That's facts. Yeah.
If you're born in America or in Europe, specifically America, and the first world countries, that's winning the lottery in life, because you know when you're in the States, your ability to earn more is automatically higher than anywhere else on the planet.
Yeah.
For example, let's just say what a corporate client like even Safcom would pay for a retainer for marketing. It's what one retail client would pay for, let's say in UK.
Yeah, agreed.
Again, so it's
Oh, wait, are we turning here or is it the next one?
it's this one actually. So
Chicken
you-
in?
Yeah, it's all up. Yeah.
Wait, to that point, as a cleaner,
As a
in the UK,
even a cleaner, a website
kwani
developer.
wamefunga?
No, I think so. Yeah. A website developer.
Niaje bro, wamefunga chicken in?
Wanafunganga saa ngapi?
See 24 hours, eh?
Chicken in.
Yeah.
Kapsa, they are closed. Huh?
Because when they do 24 weekends.
Ni sawa
Okay.
bro, asante sana.
Thanks, man.
Sawa, thanks.
So, I'll give a very good example, and I have a buddy of mine who does this. And actually, it's a hack to guys up in.
Sorry,
Website developers.
where do we go next?
We go towards Westlands, the mall.
Actually, kuna chicken in uko
Haile Selassie.
Haile
Drive
Selassie,
through.
so we go express right then we
yeah.
to
No. Hatuwezi enda na expressway. The expressway inashuka mbele at the other roundabout. So we'll have to drive. The road is
so,
okay.
So.
So come back to what you're saying. There are guys, a website developer here, premium for a top of the line company,
Yeah.
maybe 100,000 shillings, 150,000 shillings.
Big.
Yeah.
That's a big.
Sorry, that's
That's a big.
in terms of website development, just to create the website and design it, 100,000 shillings. I don't know. From what I've seen, there are guys who charge 30,000, 40,000, 50,000.
Oh my god.
You see?
Yeah.
In UK, I have a guy. I have a buddy of mine. He runs that business. Yeah. The cheapest that he'll sell a client for £3,000.
Pounds.
And you know that
£3,000.
so they
Now,
argue,
do you know the amount of time that he'll dedicate to that work? Half a day.
yeah.
He does. Let's say 20 to 30 of that a month.
So they're the arguments that
That's
obviously
close to 30 million shillings.
Correct.
a month, yeah.
that you know the flip side is that you're paying a lot more, but because the cost of living has also gone considerably up. But to be honest, like again with Madung on the podcast that's supposed to go out, I think by the time this goes live, it will already be out.
Yeah.
He was saying he just went to Texas in the US and he was like, Jesus Christ. He understands the consumerism because you're paid exceptionally well, but then the cost of living over there and the food and products that you buy, it's actually affordable. And the thing is, it's quality affordable, right? So the Big Mac that you have over here versus the Big Mac you have in the States, different sizes. You get a lot more bang for your buck, okay? I was giving an example as a cleaner. I was getting paid £6.50 an hour. £6.
You are a cleaner
Yeah, a toilet cleaner in Wales.
when you are in school.
When I was in uni. Yeah. So my job basically was, I'm cut 3 in the morning, go and basically clean all the classes. So you had different levels. You had a block had like 8 floors, and you get maybe assigned block A. So you go clean all the toilets, all the classrooms, and pretty intense work. £6.50 an hour, right? I could only work 20 hours during university times, but then during the summer, and basically when the students came in for the summer courses, you could work full time.
Okay.
I was working 10 hours a day, right?
10 hours a day.
10 hours a day, Monday to Friday.
And you're getting how much per hour?
£6.50.
£6.50.
£6.50, right? So I was
Roughly 1,000 shillings.
I was averaging, let's say 60, and there was the service fee for the guys that got you the job. So I was averaging about £60 a day, right? 5 days of working, I'm earning
50K.
£300.
£300.
£300, right? Weekends, Friday nights and Saturday nights, I was doing bouncing duties and club duties. They were paying me £14 an hour, sometimes 18 depending on the shift. But basically over Friday night and Saturday night combined, I'd make about £200. So £500 a week, right? In a month, I'm getting paid £2,000, right? And that's because obviously I haven't applied for, this was just basic stuff, and I wanted to do something physical. Because at the time I was following a gentleman by the name Greg Plate. He said, the purest form of satisfaction for any man is to do work with his hands. And I tell you, that experience of safishing white people shit, when I hit the pillow, best sleep I've ever had in my life. But anyway, that I was making that amount of money, all right? Paying enough for rent, sending enough back home, comfortable eating and shopping. And this is now in Wales, so it was obviously much cheaper. If you move closer inland, it's more expensive. This was in 2016, all right? And I had colleagues now who got professional jobs who are now earning 30 to 40,000 pounds a year. And they were living decent lives. But then there's also now the fine line is where you get into that consumerism aspect, where you're constantly spending just to, spending and you're earning just to survive. So there's a lot of fine lines. I think my frustration, and maybe I think you share the same frustration, Kim shares the same frustration, is how do we make it work in Kenya? Because we love Kenya. It's our home. We want to earn well and live well over here, because it's known that if you have the money and if you have the financial backing to stay in Kenya, it's a beautiful life.
Yeah, that it is. But so I think, so this is what I'll say.
By the way, this conversation has become serious, eh?
No, it's perfectly fine. So you now find, for example, for everything to be affordable and cheaper, it all depends on what drives that affordability metrics.
Yeah.
In those places that you've mentioned, capital and access to funds is that cheap, especially in the States.
Yes.
For you to get money here, for you to even get, okay, for example, the immediate starting point for an unsecured loan that you get immediately as soon as you open up a credit card in the States is, say, something like $10,000 to $40,000.
It's so weird. Credit cards, man. It's so true.
Yeah, you get.
They'll give you, yeah.
Here, to even get $15,000, you must show your bank statement for 3 years. You can do this, you have to do that, you have to do this, you have to do that, and most likely you'll be rejected.
That's true, yeah.
So the affordability aspect is driven by businesses who can be able to offer products and to offer services at a cheaper rate.
Yeah, I agree.
A huge thing in terms of cheapness. Yeah, I'll give a very good example. Let's say Carrefour has a loan of $20 to $30 million in the country.
Yes.
That's an OD that they used to pay their suppliers that constantly changes every single month. If the cost of that OD is that freaking expensive, okay?
Yes.
If the cost of that, let's say an account such as KFC, for example, in terms of the baseline affordability, let's say Naivas, where you normally would buy your stuff, Java, those guys need capital to move around because they are dealing in FMCG products and they're dealing in the food space. They need money to be able to service you. If the cost of money is that damn expensive, you see everything, I think that's where it also starts from. If the cost of, like you said, it's a fugazi, it's here, it's there, it's nowhere.
Yeah.
You get. But here, it's freaking expensive and it's a real thing. You see, it's a real thing. So I think that's also something that you can look at to be able to, in terms of a mass perspective, you know, there are people, when you make a certain amount of money, things are not expensive changes to you. But then there's the guy who actually sees one and then he knows he wants to be able to, even if he has the money, he wants to get the maximum bang for his buck. You see? But so I think that's maybe something that will be looked at, because because right now, one of the businesses that I own and I'm a director in, they were looking for an OD. Okay? OD, overdraft.
Yeah.
KCB made it practically impossible for them to get an OD.
Really?
Yes. So they had an OD and the OD lapsed over, and then they were told to put up a liability. They said, "Oh, you need to secure." Sorry, I mean they need to secure the loan, the OD. So they're like, get a logbook. Did you get this? Your assets, whatever, so that you can be given the OD. The OD was just like 2 mic, 3 mic. Okay. If you are in the States, that money would be approved in half an hour.
Bro, you can call a bank and they give you a credit card, and just
you see,
your starting limit
literally,
is
here the starting credit is 2,000. There is like 10,000, 20,000, and even that 2,000, you are so curtailed, like it's just so freaking high. So when businesses, the money that they need to be able to operate is expensive. Their overheads are expensive. Someone has taken a loan. The interest on the loan is 13%. Okay. The cost of fulfillment, electricity is freaking through the roof. You see, shifsha, nini, everything inaongezwa. Like right now, one of my employees that I was paying, I was paying the guys, one guy it was 60, 70k. By the time shifsha and all this stuff was calculated, nimejipata nilipa 85, 90k. And those shit adds up when you take it across a team of 10 people.
It does.
That's an extra 150,000 shillings.
Stacks up.
Spread it across a year. That money directly goes into my, it's shaved off of my bottom line. Where do I compensate? See, I'll go and I'll pass on to my consumer. I'll be a client that my retainer used to be $500, I'll tell you it's now $650.
So, do you think...
So, the capital and affordability of capital is a huge indicator, as well as now when you look at things such as the other aspects, power, human resource. In Kenya we have abundance of human resource, but it is also not cheap.
Okay, so
human resource in Kenya is not cheap.
No, I understand that.
Like I talked to an account manager that I want. Let's say I have landed a huge client. I want to now set up an exclusive team for that client.
Yes.
Bro, to get an account manager right now, it will cost me 150 to 200,000.
Easy.
And if I offer anything less than that, is net. If I offer anything less than that, naambia hakuna mali nakuja. That's not affordable. In the US right now, or in the States, you can get such a person very efficient and very effective,
Yes.
At nothing more than $500 per month.
That's not really true, eh?
No. Freelance.
Or freelance.
Yes, not a full-time employee.
Actually, you know the thing is, by the way, on that note, I was told in order to get resources online, use Fiverr. There's a bunch of Pakistani and Indian guys over there.
I never do anything digital stuff.
Why not?
If I'm having an account manager, I must see you in the office.
Well, no. Basically, you're those guys who expect people. How do you expect your account manager to be in the office?
Literally, they have to be.
But how will he do sales if he's
not a salesperson? 95% of the sales happen through me and.
Okay. So managing those back-end accounts.
So yes, no. If I needed to be an account manager, if I needed to be an account director, if I need whatever business line items, you have to be in the office, not throughout, but you must report in. Okay, after we reported, and then whatever briefs that we are supposed to do is done.
Right.
If you are a salesperson, you must clock in. Cause I'm in the office by 6, for example.
What the fuck are you doing in the office at 6?
You're
the ones who spoil it for us that come in at 9:30, isn't it?
No. It depends on what you have on your plate.
Yeah.
So if I'm in the office early, come in, debrief whatever it is that is required. If you are a salesperson, I don't like salespeople in the offices during the day.
Yeah.
But if you are account management and your job is not actually on the field, you must check in. You must clock in at least certain hours.
You know, to be honest,
I blast up HR anytime that people don't come.
This early to bed, early to rise aspect has really worked well for me over the past 2-3 weeks because I was getting these.
You've been sleeping early.
Yeah, basically I used to sleep at 1.
Props to the lady that Sajid was just talking about lately. He doesn't sleep. He'll send you a meme or a reel at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Quenda.
FaceTimes you at 1 o'clock and says, "Bro, I have a crisis. I need to be in another Zoom call in another half an hour."
Yeah, those were crazy moments. So what I've done is
he'd call me during Tahajjud. I tell him, "Have you taken iftar?" He's like, "Not yet, bro."
At work.
So you're doing the right things.
No, but you see, the thing is, getting up early, going to the gym, having that consistent. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted as to where we need to enter from because
go straight. You see this blue Mabati?
Yeah.
That car in mbele yake.
You know, above the expressway it looks so beautiful, and then you just look at the shit below.
No, it's under construction because of after the expressway. This
has been under construction for the last 7 years.
They are building an underpass here. Now here, just ahead of this KBU.
Sorry, what was I saying?
You are talking about.
Yeah, so I met with the doctor who.
It's early to bed, early to rise thing.
Yeah, by the way, Kim, I think the camera is also nearly dying. Do we need to replace the
battery?
Do we have a battery?
Yeah.
So should we replace it and then we just go and
resume
we go to the drive-through?
Yeah.
So we'll be back in a second, guys.
Okay.
Should I park somewhere on the side, though?
No, hapo tu kwa saa.
Let me-
There's
let me-
there's
let me
nobody
park over here.
actually. I get let me get
Oh, can
water.
we order?
Yeah.
Why don't we do this, yeah? Let him go so that we pick up the order.
No,
And
no.
as the order is
I
coming,
want to order.
as we go, then tuingie
Yeah.
ndani basi. Hi Sajid, I miss you.
I think we're good. Sorry, what? Oh, sorry, guys. We got cut off. The battery was dead. We're now going to order some chakula. You asking me about my heritage and
Yeah, I was asking if you're like Indian or
Those guys with
Pakistan.
guitar are like, oh, what's happening?
so I'll tell you for the most part, majority of Muslims, actually specifically from our side, we were all Hindus initially. We were from Gujarat, and so my dad was born here, my granddad was born here, my great granddad was born. I think before that, they came from that place, Gujarat. And
You guys came like during the railway stuff? Or?
yeah,
Okay. Okay. Oh, I mean, you could have easily ended up being like in Australia, but you came to Kenya. That's a good thing.
guys were sent all over. Eh?
Yeah, guys were sent all over.
Okay, do you guys know what you want?
Let's move closer, bro. I'll maybe have a pizza.
A pizza.
A pizza, one piece.
A pizza.
One pizza. Pieceer. That's what they normally term it as.
What is it?
So you know the way that KFC has streetwise 1, streetwise 2, streetwise 3?
Yes.
These guys have
Oh,
two
pizza.
Yeah.
So you want a one pizza?
Yeah, that's why I said that.
You don't want a burger?
Let's get a burger instead.
So
Oh wait, give me a wrap, a chicken wrap.
chicken wrap. So you want one chicken wrap?
One chicken wrap.
Kim, I'm getting a burger.
Yeah.
This one over here, the stacking chicken burger meal.
Can you get that too?
2 of those, and then I'll get. Have you guys tried chicken nuggets? Bro, the chicken nuggets here blew me away. I tried it with
I haven't tried
with
it.
you know Eric from Every Other Time with Eric.
The pilot.
Yes, we were at his place, and his wife was like, chicken nuggets from this place.
I'm sure he's happy that I remember him for his profession.
Chicken nuggets, me.
Let's move closer. That's where you speak to me.
Oh, sorry. Hello. Habari yako? Could I please have a stacking chicken burger meal times 2? Could I have a chicken wrap meal?
No, let's just. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. Can you make the sodas Coke Zero? Yeah. So the stacking chicken burger, two of them as a meal. And then can I have the chicken wrap as a meal? All of them spicy. Spicy simbaya. Sorry? Yeah, do you have these chicken nuggets? Which sizes do you have? 10 and 15. Yeah, can I have the biggest one, please? Yes. And regular. Yeah, do you have the sauces on the side for the chicken nuggets? You have the I beg your pardon? No, yeah, I mean, do you have like sauces on the side like mayonnaise and ketchup? For the fries, yes. Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. Sorry? M-Pesa. Sorry?
She said proceed.
Okay, sure. You can hear that. I'm the only one that's.
Oh my days.
This is all going on the podcast, by the way.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen anyone take that long at a drive-thru. Wallah.
You couldn't hear?
I'm usually in and out of a drive-thru in like 3 minutes.
Bro, I couldn't hear. Could you hear what she was saying?
Yeah. Mode of payment. We had
Maybe acoustics. Maybe sound ilikuwa inakuja hivyo alafu hivyo.
Guys, this is my first time doing
By the way, this will be midnight chicken run, eh?
midnight chicken in run.
Yes.
I feel it.
And I've got such an early day tomorrow.
And it's now half an hour to midnight.
Yeah.
How do you survive on like how often do you sleep like a night? How long?
So I've started getting 6 to 8 hours. So today, let's say by the time I get home it's 12:31. I'll get up for Fajr. I get up late now. I'll probably get up at 6, pray, and then go to the gym. The gym keeps me charged till like 5, 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mambo.
Niajibila, how are you?
Can we have extra seasoning on the chips? Yeah, on the fries.
And can we have like a lot of packets of ketchup? Did you hear what she said?
Reverse, yeah. The nugget, you need loads of fries. I think that's it.
Jumbo.
Yeah. Huh?
I'm chips.
So, could you add for me an extra burger and chips? Sawa. But in a separate bucket. Kaka, unataka soda gani? Unataka soda gani? Fanta orange. But I like your shirt, eh?
Which water do you know?
Kim has become buff, eh?
I don't know what he's been eating.
It's fine.
For now.
But you become really buff. Are you working out?
Well, you just try this.
Huh?
This is just for like.
I don't think so.
And a wrap. Yes.
But just
Just for
And yes. 29.30. Which sodas are there? Yeah, can we have Coke Zero, yeah?
we are healthy people like that.
Kim, which soda do you want?
black currant.
So Coke Zero mbili, black currant moja, Fanta moja. So itakuwa ngapi? So. Can I pay via M-Pesa? Sorry guys, I hope you're still enjoying this. You say Sema stories to keep the audience occupied.
Well, that it will be throughout.
Yes, we're not cutting this.
So Sajid cussed more than he should have.
They've already unsubscribed. Thanks to you. Chicken in rubies. Ulisema 31? Has it come? Asante sana. 5 minutes out. I beg your pardon? I don't know, I think my ears are messed up. Can you hear? Spicy. Everything's spicy. Yeah, so tunagoja. Sorry guys.
Sajid's ear is not functioning that well
You couldn't hear what she said, could you?
because I wasn't paying attention.
Makende yako. You can't hear. Just don't hate on me.
Okay.
By the way, so has Guya become a Muslim, you were saying?
Guya is at a point in which we had a conversation multiple. I think even on your podcast, even on CoffeePump, it
By the
came
way,
up.
if those guys that don't know, just go and check out Philip Guya.
He is. No, let me do the.
Kim,
Actually,
Kim, can we put up Philip Guya's
Yeah.
picture over here, yeah?
like Philip Guya is
Yeah.
the greatest bodybuilder between the Nile and the Limpopo.
Sorry, I was saying, so we'll put up Philip Guya's picture over here.
It's understandable if he fills out the entire frame.
Yeah, so Kim, just make sure you see Philip Guya. No homo, guys, but hey, Philip Guya, that body.
If you see him and you stand next to him,
I feel sorry for his girlfriend. Which reminds me of a joke about Thor.
Mm-hmm.
Have you know Thor the superhero?
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, so what happens is he picks up a girl, they go home, they hook up. The next day he gets up, he looks at her and he's like, oh, by the way, I'm Thor. She's like, you're Thor? I can't even walk.
But yeah, Guya,
Yes.
he mentioned multiple times also in your podcast. So he is very, I would say, inquisitive. That's one. Meaning he actually wants to get to know a lot of stuff. So he was like Orthodox Christianity, like Ethiopian Orthodox Christianity or Islam. So you've spoken at length about it. So you would have the urge to tell someone accept Islam, accept Islam, accept Islam, but also Islam itself, the religion tells us there's no compulsion in religion. So every time he sees, he's like, Nas, by the way, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And I think he's not yet Muslim. He's like finding the perfect, that I think his own perfect time, because to navigate, it's such a huge thing to do. Nobody is Muslim, the family. So when he now becomes Muslim, he has to live up to what it means to be Muslim, all those stuff. But yes, and Guya loves the aspect of 4 wives about Islam. So that's the thing. Yeah.
Do you think, as born Muslims, we don't value it as much as people who revert?
Bro, like with the religion, yeah, even when you're born a Muslim or when you're born with any certain beliefs, there's a part in which it is given to you by your parent. Then there's a stage in you reach in your life where you now choose to become Muslim, where you choose to practice Muslim. And the thing about Islam is, for those who accept it and who revert to Islam, there's this overwhelming feeling of guidance that they might feel. So there's a way in which, if something has always been there, you can take it for granted. But if someone felt like they were lost and now they have guidance and they feel like they are now found, they will do so much more. That desire to just excel in something. And the ones who are born Muslims, for some, they will now actually understand it.
Understand it well, yeah.
And then the ones who do not will just be like, I'm Muslim,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Well, mashallah, you've improved in terms of conditioning and shape, so I must commend you. How often are you working out now?
4 times a week, depending on my programs. 4 or 5 times a week.
At what time do you normally work out?
Depends, but mostly بعد المغرب. So I pray Maghrib,
Yeah.
work out. By the time Isha comes, I'm done. So it depends also. So if I know I have let's say my heaviest sessions, I don't like to rush my workout. So I might start after Isha.
Okay.
And then I'm like, by 2 hours I'm done.
Is next gen packed by that time?
Next gen.
Yes.
That 10 o'clock.
Yes.
The thing with next gen gym is that it's just so big that even if it is maximum packed, there will still be space.
Can I admit something to you about next gen? I like the equipment, the size, the facilities, the fact that it's 24 hours. The machines just feel slightly off to me. So if you look at, like, for example, like a techno gym brand, right? The movement, the aspect of the mobility, the biodynamics, or maybe biodynamics is not the right word, but basically the way the machine moves is quite smooth. With next gen, some of the equipment, I think maybe it's Eastern European, it's very rigid. I'm not sure if you felt that way. Like if you look at Afrofit's equipment, Afrofit's equipment is
shit.
No, I was going to say it's really good.
Sorry, okay.
I was going to say it's like pretty decent because the movement and mobility.
I might be prejudiced, but in terms of your point, yes. And
and also upkeep, mana. Like upkeep. That gym, I think with the amount of people that are going through it.
No, actually they do now. So to answer your point, yes, there are certain equipments which the wear and tear happen quickly. So now the good thing with next gen, right now, a good 40% of the equipment that they started with 2 years ago is totally different. All the equipment people, actually, almost all the machines are different. They've now changed up the machines.
Okay.
They constantly buy new machines based on client feedback.
I saw they expanded the behind section as well with the MMA side.
Yeah, so even
and there's a kitchen that's opened up over there.
Yeah, there's a cafeteria that opened up, same like Amka, but so, the Amka's It's separate actually from Anchor, so it offers the mark all the nutrients if you're bulking, if you're cutting, if you're maintenance, all of that.
So it gives you the macros?
Yeah, all of them. You're able to know.
No.
Check. Go to the gym. You can ask them, give me a portion of this food.
So wanakupatia macros?
If you want, you can tell them to calculate for you. It shouldn't be an issue because do you know what they do? They weigh the food, so you know how much you're taking. So let's say you tell them, give me 100 grams of chicken breast.
Really?
Bro, try.
So
They
is it-
give you exactly 100 grams.
So
of
is it a
chicken breast.
24-hour kitchen?
It closes at 10 o'clock, but you know, it's at 10 o'clock, yeah. 10
Okay.
o'clock. But there, for example, so the advantage with the kitchen also is, if you have even 500 shillings or even 300 shillings, you can have a full meal. They will literally weigh the food according to your budget.
So it's that
So
budget.
as you are broke today, you can go and steal it.
Yeah.
Yes. So with Next Gen, you go,
Mm.
the kitchen space, they will weigh out the food. If you want fish, if you want chicken, if you want whatever types of protein, you tell them, give me 100 grams of beef,
Mm.
rice, this. They'll weigh it out and give it to you. So you can just go in. If you have a fitness tracker, weigh up your food, done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and the good thing is, if let's say you tell them, give me 50 bob worth of rice, they'll give you 50 bob worth of rice.
That's actually pretty innovative. I don't think it reminds me sort of like maybe not Chipotle, but it's good innovation that they have nutrition by the gym that actually understands macros pretty well. I think one company that I've seen that does that exceptionally well is Eat Clean Achara.
Yeah. So also another thing for the gym, so
Thank you. This is the So this is what? Okay, so this is one burger with chips and ulikuwa unataka Fanta Passion?
Orange.
Fanta-
Fanta passion sour.
Ni sawa. Okay, sawa.
look at it.
Take it, bro. There you go. No worries, bro. Sawa. No worries, bro. Thanks. Jina yako? Dennis.
Yeah.
Sawa.
Okay,
No worries, bro.
thanks.
No worries.
Have you realized we're wearing the same socks? What the fuck?
We're wearing the same socks.
Look at that. Shit.
Thank you. Asante sana. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Si hapo ni sawa?
Yeah, perfect. Fine.
Guys, do you want to end it here?
What do you think in terms of?
In terms of our sex tape, what do you think? In terms of the podcast,
You don't want us to have an extension?
what do you mean?
You know, see, this is the first phase of the sex tape. Yeah. What are you talking about? I think we wrapped up.
I think we've covered quite a lot, but this is
That's the
one.
good thing about it.
This is one of many. We're obviously going to do a lot more.
Exactly.
You're always welcome. You're like a brother to me.
I will not
I
give
appreciate
you
it.
any billboards. I'm just saying.
Billboard ya CoffeePump, you've heard it from Nassir over here. And then utatuwekea sijui, what's that place called when you go past Garissa all the way uko ndani?
Liboy.
That one.
Liboy is on the border. You want to be in Liboy?
There'll be a post over there, CoffeePump. So I'll get huge Somali subscribers.
One's the ones who are now just coming into Kenya.
Thank you. Now wako na pesa.
How can I do?
Subscribe.
On a person.
But I appreciate you, brother. I really do. This is one of many. Aside from the fact that you and I wear the same socks.
Yeah.
Ballers on budget. We shop at Butter Socks.
I'm telling you, man, they're very comfortable socks. They be like, and I don't know, they've actually improved. They're like, you want extra
They're not
socks?
bad. They're not bad. Huh?
You want extra socks with the shoes? Here. I'm like, I'm not saying.
Guys, this has been Midnight Coffee Run.
Yeah.
With my main man,
Midnight
Nassir.
Chicken run.
Midnight Chicken Run, Leo. And Kim in the back seat. That's what's up. We'll catch you on the next one. Hopefully we'll go and get coffee. If not, we'll go and get chicken again.
I'm gonna sleep.
Alright guys, thanks. We'll catch you in the next one.